So, welcome to Once Upon a Pandemic series with myself, Yvonne Redden. And this series is all about sharing stories on staying positive through these challenging times. And I'll be chatting to people from all around the globe. And today we are talking to an amazing lady, Aoife Ryan, who is a relationship mentor, parent mentor, educator, trauma-informed psychoeducation trainer, and parent advocate. That's some title, Aoife. And I forgot to put in Mammy as well. Mammy as well.
Mammy as well. And that's the main job.
That's the main job. That's some title, isn't it? You do an awful lot. And that's why I wanted to get you to come on, because you're you think on the parent side. I know we all think of our children, but if the parent is good, I think the kids will be fine. So thanks so much for coming on this series. And how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, and I'm delighted to be here, Yvonne. Thanks for having me. I'm good. I think the same as everybody else at the moment, keeping a lot of balls in the air. And I think for every parent out there, I think that's the way we are at the moment, even more so than in the last lockdown, because there's more pressure to do it all. So I think it's tricky at the moment.
It's more challenging this time, I think, third time around.
Third time, I think it is. And I was talking to a parent the other night, and they were saying to me that in the very first lockdown, employers were very sympathetic to people homeschooling and all of that, but not so much now. It's kind of get your work done. Yeah, we know what you're doing, but you need to get your work done. So I think there's a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, it seems stricter. So. And how do you stay positive?
Well, I do a couple of things, Yvonne.
Yeah, share them, please.
I drink a lot of green tea.
Yeah.
Number one.
Detox.
And I love it. And another thing that I do is I love dancing. And of course, haven't been able to dance a lot. So Fatboy Slim was doing this series. It's a bit mad, but he was doing this series from his home on a Friday night. So I was putting that on every Friday night and dancing like a mad joke around the kitchen. But it's great. It's kind of stress relief, get the endorphins going. And it just reminded me of who I am. Because I think that's something that parents, especially at the moment, are losing. We're losing a little bit of ourselves. So in order to stay positive, I'm trying to bring it back to me and remember who I am and what I stand for and what I love. So finding some of those things that I love to do, because we're not able to do all the things that we love.
And like, do you have a set routine? Yeah, exactly. And have you got like a routine that you do every day?
Well, the first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning is check in and see how I'm feeling. Is this going to be a good day, or is this going to be a day when I really need to take care of myself and I'm not feeling so good?
Great.
And, because I think sometimes on those days when we don't feel so good, we have to give ourselves a little break and just go, it's okay. It's okay to have those bad days. We'll pick ourselves up and we'll keep going.
Yeah.
I wear my lipstick all the time.
I'm the same as well. I wouldn't go anywhere without my lipstick and my lip gloss, because
even
I just feel,
under the mask. Because it makes me my kids laugh at me, but it makes me feel good and it makes me feel positive.
It gives you a bit of a lift. It gives you the burst of color that you need or something, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so that's one of my positive things that I do for myself every day. I think exercise, I know people bang on about it and we get a bit sick of it, but getting out into nature is so good for us. Even if we're not exercising, even if you're going and sitting on a bench, you're outside, it's the sky, it's the greenery, it's just that kind of breathing in the air, feeling alive. So I think that's really important. I try and do that a little bit as well.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And then, the other thing is connecting with friends. I was talking to a friend on the phone last night, and neither of us were probably in great form, but we laughed. We laughed about the fact that we were having a rant, and we laughed about feeling miserable, and we might have shed a little tear or two as well. But after it, I thought, yeah, I feel good again. You know,
Yeah,
I felt more me again. And I think
it's
that's the key. We'll all have our different ways
mm,
of what we need to do. So you know, I would always say, bring it back to you. Don't
mm,
listen to me. Don't listen to your mom. Don't listen to your sister. Listen to yourself. What do you really need right now? And then try and find a way of
yeah.
even finding a little piece of that.
Absolutely. You know, I'm just going to read out a little quote from your LinkedIn profile. So, working with parents, I help them find solutions that will work for them and their families. When parents can see themselves and what they need, they're in a better place to see their children and help them thrive. And this is key at the moment with the
Yeah.
parents at home, homeschooling, and not even just homeschooling, two parents trying to work from home as well. You know, you're trying to do all that homeschooling. Kids want breakfast, they want lunch, they want dinner. It's really tough. And I
Yeah.
think, like, is there anything that you suggest? Because this is what you do. You work with the parents and you help the parents cope with all this. Is there any advice there at all you can give to the parents who could be struggling at home?
Give yourselves a break.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
number one. And it sounds kind of simple, and it sounds, you know, people go, oh yeah, give myself a break. But I think at the moment we're not, this isn't a conscious decision that any of us have made to be stuck at home teaching the kids. There are people that do homeschool, but they've thought about it for a long time, they've researched it, and this is what they do.
yeah,
We have been thrown into this. We are trying to survive. We're in a
yeah,
pandemic. We're trying to survive it. So I think it's, you know, switch off the school WhatsApp groups, because they drive you insane,
yeah,
you know, and the other day I said to my husband, I feel really inadequate as a parent compared to some of the other parents.
yeah.
But, you know, I'm doing the best that I can. We're doing the
Mm,
best that we can. So I think it's really important. It's a really simple piece of advice, but it's
mm,
like, give yourself a break. If your kids are fed,
yeah,
if they're loved,
they're happy.
all that they really need is love, especially for the younger ones.
Mm,
They're not going to remember much about the pandemic, but they will remember the atmosphere in the house.
absolutely. Yeah,
That will sink into their bodies and into
yeah.
their bones, and they will take that forward with them.
Mm,
So if you can keep your own stress levels down, going back to that quote, which sounds quite impressive. I'm
yeah.
impressed at myself that I came up with that. But it's going back to that. If you look after your own stress levels and keep
Mm,
yourself taken care of, then the stress levels in the house will be much less.
for
And
sure.
and your kids will remember that environment. They won't,
Mm,
you know, they won't remember that much, but they'll know how they felt. So
yeah,
make them feel loved, make them feel cared for,
yeah.
you know,
And if
and
you're
bring
not
a little,
stressed, they're not stressed, I think, isn't it?
absolutely,
But
yeah,
sometimes it's
and
hard to get that moment to think, though, isn't it?
it
Sometimes it just
is,
gets all too much, and it's like, I need to run or I need to go and hide in the bathroom, and then there's someone in
yeah,
the bathroom. It's hard to get that moment to
yeah.
reset, isn't it?
It is, and sometimes it is good stepping into the bathroom and locking the door
Yeah.
and
Bring
taking
your
the
tea with
10.
you, you have
Bring your
to.
tea with you, or
Yeah.
and taking 100 breaths. And even if
Yeah.
they're screaming outside for a minute, that's okay. You can go back out to them and you can say, you know what, I'm here now. What's going on? You know, so it's really it is that kind of stress is contagious. So if
Mm,
you're stressed, your kids are going to get stressed.
yeah.
So you have to look after yourself. You have to give yourself a break.
Yeah.
You're doing the best that you can,
Mm.
and that's good enough,
And
you
that's a
know?
nice mantra to say to yourself even every day, isn't it?
It
Get
is.
up, you're doing the best you can. That's all you can
Yeah.
do, isn't it? We don't know how long this is going to go on for. Will we have
No.
more? And as well, I think turn off the news. I don't watch it every day, Aoife. I can't. I just find that the cases, the numbers, it just goes in my head, and it's like, okay, I don't need to know that today. I need to
Yeah.
get through the day. I need to get the
Yeah.
dinner done. So I kind of look at it maybe once a week just to
Yeah.
keep an eye on it. But it's everywhere in social media anyway. So
It is.
you're going to
It's
see
really
it somewhere.
limiting
Yeah,
yourself. And I think that goes back to the point that I made about checking in with yourself when you wake up in the morning, Yvonne.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
some days you're able for it and some days you're not.
Yeah.
And it's really good to know before you go to deal with the kids, before you go to make breakfast, before you go to do anything, when you wake up in the morning, okay, did I sleep well?
Yeah.
Am I okay? Can I face this day, or do I need
Mm.
to really take care and limit my exposure, limit the people that I talk to, or do I need to check in with people? So
Mm.
it's kind of,
Mm.
it's knowing when to say no to people, and
Yeah.
it's knowing when to say yes as well.
Mm.
So
Mm.
it's, but as you say, limiting our exposure to social media, to our news feeds, because even if you go down to the shops now, you'll hear people talking about it. It's
Yeah.
instead of talking about weather, we talk about the
Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's really just um, checking in. Where am I
Yeah.
with this? What can I
Mm.
manage today? And it's the
Uh,
same with your kids. Can I
yeah.
manage to do all the schoolwork, or will we just give it a break today?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's
Yeah,
okay to say that you're not okay,
absolutely.
and reach out to your friends, reach out to your family by Zoom or phone, and just that chat with someone else can help you an awful lot. I've done it loads of times. There's been loads of struggling times. I've just picked
Yeah,
up the phone. I said, look, I'm really struggling. And and it does get you through that. And it's okay to say you're not okay. And that's the
yeah,
main thing. Give yourself a break.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The other
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
is just one more thing is
mm,
is writing it down.
yeah,
Sometimes when you're going to bed, you've got a million things in your head, or you wake up
mm,
at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you can't think of what the thoughts are just going around
yeah,
and around. So just get them out of your head and onto a page.
yeah,
And that's a really good way of, and gratitude, the other flip side of that is writing down the things you're grateful for. And all of the research will say that transforms the neurotransmitters in your brain and
yeah,
actually leads you to having a more positive
yeah,
mindset. So practice, what I do with the kids is at the end of every day, can we find 3 things that we're grateful for?
mm.
And my daughter, this will make you laugh. My daughter said to me one time, I'm just grateful that this day is over because it was a crap
Oh,
day.
yeah, imagine. I know it's
But
heartbreaking. Yeah,
but she flipped it.
yeah,
Instead of moaning about the terrible day, we had gratitude that the day was
yeah,
over and we could
yeah,
move on to another one tomorrow. So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
that kind of flipping it leads you to
Yeah.
having a more positive mindset
Yeah,
as
I
well.
definitely think I've spoke to a couple of guests and they've said the gratitude list, and I've said
Yeah,
like write a journal. A few people have taken up journaling, which is
yeah,
great. I'm always writing down notes. It's part of what I
yeah,
do. Journaling is great for just getting like all your things off your chest as well,
yeah. Get
and
it out of the
just
head
get
and
it out
onto
of
the
the head.
page.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then as one guest said, Rachel, and even burn that list if you want to. If you don't want to keep it,
yeah,
just write them
yeah,
and burn it, and it's gone,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
move on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great tips,
Yeah.
Aoife. And
Thank you.
before I let you go, because I want to keep this nice and short for people, because I know they don't have they just want short videos. People don't want too much. It's a
Yeah.
quick positive tips, and that's what we want to give people advice. If you were to write your memoir, title in 3 to 4 words, what would it be?
Hmm.
And can you? Yeah.
I
Because
would
I'll come
love to
back to you
write a
next year. I'm
memoir
going to
from
come back
mistake.
next year to all my guests and see. Do you remember what you said your title was?
Yeah. I think, yes, I live my life with the mantra of conscious balance. I like to be conscious and aware of where I'm at, what I'm doing. I like to reflect on myself in the world. And I think that everything is about balance,
Mm,
that we can work hard, play hard, do everything, but it's all about the balance. So I
yeah.
think my memoir would be called Conscious Balance.
That's lovely. And
Thank
can
you.
you tell people where they can find you and all about what you do, your website
Y-
and your handles? Yeah.
Yeah, I would love, yeah, if people want to reach out, as you said,
Yeah.
don't do this alone,
Yeah.
and there are many professionals out there of whom I'm one. So you can find me at www.aoiferyan, AOIFE, ryan.ie. And you'll find my contact details on the website. And please, yeah, do reach out. None of us can do this on our own.
No, and it's always good to talk, isn't it, Aoife?
It sure
It's
is, yeah.
great. And listen, Aoife, thanks a million. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much for your time and being part of this series. And please stay safe. And I'm sure we'll chat again. And I just want to finish off by saying, see you all next time on Once Upon a Pandemic with my next guest. And thank you very much.